let's talk about color bleeds. I want to talk about wet on wet, color bleeds, and how to get that color to stay where you want it to stay or to sort of flow as far as you want it to flow, which is a tricky thing because we're working with water here. I got to send my artwork in and get these like pins from this company BPS. And I'm going to show it to you really quick, but it gave me an idea, so that's why we're looking at it on our way to color bleeds today. Okay, look at this. I didn't need logo pins or anything, so I created this little butterfly. Isn't that so cute? Here, there we go. And I created this, and then they made me these little like acrylic pins. Isn't that so cute? And I literally have like so many of them, so I'm going to give them to family and friends. But it gave me an idea of a way that we could work on color bleeds just to kind of play with that water and that paint and get it to do what we want. So here's our inspiration, and here we go. So there are two different ways we get water when we're doing something like this, okay? And the first one is that we're going to put water down on our paper. The second one is we're going to take from our paints and we're going to add water in on that wet on wet technique. I'll link a video to wet on wet, but I'm going to spray my paints for one, because when I add my color in, it matters how much water. So there's two ways we're going to keep track of the water. So I sprayed my paints, which essentially creates like very tiny puddles right on top of our paints. Then the other thing we're going to do is grab your water, take your brush, and for now this is not a butterfly. Okay, but we're going to take water. Mine's a little dirty. We're going to take water and put it on our paper. Now, this is one way we keep track of how much. Look at that light reflecting. I actually want to kind of see like right here where I see the texture of the paper through. That's great. This is a little too much. So I'll take my brush, dry it on my towel, and lift some of that up till I have just enough that I can see the light reflecting and the texture of the paper. Then I will go to my paint that I sprayed. I'm dipping maybe the tip of my brush in my water only. I'll get right into this paint, and it depends how much water is here and how much water is here. Those are our two spots. I'm going to add it over here. Zoom in. Okay, there's more water over here. There's less water here, and I can tell. And this will not go quite as far. Do you see how it didn't travel as far? Water is what makes our paint travel. Okay, so that's a good example right there. And if I want darker, now I'll get back into that paint again without adding any water. The paper is drier. Okay, and so it's not going to travel quite as far. I'll do it again right here, right in that center. Now the paper has already dried some, and I did not add any water to my brush, so it's not going to travel as far. Let's do it one more time. I'll clean my brush out real good in the bottom of that jar. We'll do a different color this time. I'm gonna make sure I spray it real good. So here's my paints. See how nice and glossy, okay? And I'll take my brush, dip it into my water jar. We're just gonna do a big section of water. Now I'm gonna look at it. Okay, there's a little more than I want. I can't really see the texture of the paper. I'll take a clean, dry brush, lift up some of that, but I still need to see that reflection. I'll get right into the paint. Okay, and I'm just going like this. I know there's a little bit of water. Let's see what happens. I'll touch it. See, it's traveling, but not super far. If I dip the tip only of my brush into my water and grab a little bit more paint, let's see what happens now. It's going to go just a little bit further, but now we're watching this dry as well. So the point of this video is just that there's two different spots that you're adding water when you're doing this wet on wet. First one is here. Second one is on that paint when you're loading it in. So we do need some water for it to travel, but the more water, the further it will travel. The less water, the closer it will stay. Okay, so this is a really great experiment just to observe and watch what's happening as you paint. And then just that observation of water and paint is going to do a world of difference for your understanding of wet on wet and color bleeds. So you can see it here in a butterfly and in this one as well. And this would be a good way to practice, is sketch a butterfly. And you can see I did it in this one as well. I look where you want to have darkness, which is right around that body. I did wet light green paint first, okay, very light green. And I loaded in a dark green paint with very, very little water, just sprayed my paints. And it's kept it nice and close, which I think gives a great effect of these wings tipping backwards and coming up and over. And then some darkness here as well. Same thing on this one. So great way to practice getting a design that you like. Here's that pin, that butterfly again, and here are your color bleeds. So this is a great way to practice. Put water down first and then keep track of your water in two different ways. What goes on the paper and how much water is there in the paint you load into that water. We're gonna do a little loose sketch of a butterfly here, okay? And we're just doing very small for the body. I like to do a circle, an oval, and another oval, all just touching, okay? And we keep them really small, and we want to be somewhere near the center of our paper. Although, little tip, if you're crooked, you can just cut off part of your paper later. And for this one, we're gonna look, where do these wings start? Here. Where do they end? Here. And where do they kind of come into the center? Something like this. And now that I've given myself all of those guides, I'll do it here. I'm going to look for, where do I see straight lines? 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'll do it again here. 1, 2, 3. I want symmetry, but I'm telling you, I struggle with it. So we're going to go like that. We're going to do these bottom ones first, and then we'll kind of work on the tops. The bottom ones come kind of over halfway, tip downward. And we're going to circle it out, maybe with a wavy line, okay? Over, we tip down. We're looking for symmetry here, okay? And then we're going to curve it around with a wavy line. I think that's pretty much close enough, so that's really good. And then from here, where do I want to see? Like, look at this. I can create little triangles here, okay? So I want to make sure I save that space. And we're going to come like this, basically. And we're curving it in and out. Let's see, out, in, out. I don't care if it's perfectly symmetrical. You can take more time on this and round these out however you like, but this is enough for us to practice this technique. So I'm going to do the same thing again. These are our examples, okay? Look how beautiful that is. So we want that freeness of the wet on wet, but we also want to know where it's going. So I am going to make sure that my paints are still sprayed. They're okay, but I'm going to give them just a few more anyways. And we will be starting with our water again. So my water is kind of dirty by now, but I think it's going to be okay. I don't really care if I get a light purplish pink color. I'm going to avoid this body because I want that to be another color. I'm going to put water down on the whole thing. And this is all kind of designed after this little cutie. But if you look at that pen, most of the detail is in the line work up top. Okay, so now I want the water down here, but I gotta check it. Can I see through to the texture of the paper? Not enough, so I took some up right away, tip of my brush only into my water, and I'll get into those paints that I have already sprayed. And now I'll touch right here. Let me zoom in. Right here. Okay, now I cut in a little close, so I'm going to carefully go around that body so I maintain that shape. And look at that, I got a nice big spread of color there, which I like. And I can play here as well. If we want it to spread less far, we need less water. So we've got less water right here. If you ever need to get rid of any, you clean your brush and dry it. Now I've got a dry brush. I want to add another color into these wings because it's just fun to play with watercolors. So I did that like this, and I want a little more darkness right around that body. So I'm going to go right into that dark red without adding any water. And now I know that my paper has dried more as well. Okay, so it's not going to go as far. So we're watching. We're just watching and observing, and I think that'll be beautiful. I can add maybe little bits down here. You can play as long as you're observing what's happening when you're doing it. That's all we need. Oh, it is so cute. I think I might do a little bit up here as well. And I like the looseness here. I don't need it to be perfect, because what I'm going to do for the perfection part of things is go in with ink after this is fully dry. So that's it. It's practicing wet on wet and color bleeds. Okay, I just opened the rest of this box that has all of these butterflies that I made, which was my own design. But look at this, they sent me these too, so I guess you can make your own, and you could put your own logo in here and then like have gifts for the holidays or for a specific like party or celebration. So I'll link them below in case you're interested. It's kind of fun to put your own artwork on something. Whenever you're working with watercolors and you're working with ink, it doesn't exactly matter what kind of ink you use as long as your watercolors are fully dry underneath. So I'm actually not even going to do the body on this one just because I really wanted to focus on color bleeds today. But when you get that ink in there and you start to just kind of clean it up like this, you're really going to start to see the details. And I think that allows you to have that looseness in watercolors, because you know you'll get control back when you get to this part. And you can decide what shape it's going to be. You can either follow your lines perfectly, or you can sort of create new details as you go. And then from here, just sort of looking at what you want to do. Some lines coming out from the center. Great. I love little circles here. You can look at a picture of your favorite butterfly, or you can just make it up. And that's what's so fun. This one, I think usually there's something comes in like this on a butterfly. So I like to stick that in and then do some lines this way. And that gets you some pretty nice details. I love that. And let's see, you could add darkness around these edges with black paint or with pen. I don't know, I kind of like it like this though. And then just give them some little antenna. What a cutie. I would like a nice contrasting color, like on this one I did purple as the center, which I think is really cute. But anyways, this is a great way to practice color bleeds, and you're also sort of practicing symmetry, which I didn't exactly get here, but I got just enough to set the wings back behind the body, and that's all I wanted. So yeah, we did it. Wanted to let you guys know that I am starting the cutest little series starting next Wednesday. It's going to be little planter buddies, so the cutest little planters, and we will look at different actual plants and try to get them put onto our paper. I think it will be so cute. I can't wait. So Wednesdays, this will come out. I will see you then.